What
wine.
day is it?
It's Wednesday. It's hump day, baby. Okay? For whatever ungodly reason, I'm still working.
There's no excuse for it.
There's
but
no excuse for
working
it.
from home means that you can open a bottle of wine
At your exclusive home bar.
So let's do it.
So I think we're gonna try something new, our Wine Down Wednesdays, try to give you guys a review and do a tasting of different wines. So today we're gonna do the Louis Martini Cabernet Sauvignon. You know, I can't speak French unless it's with a Dominican accent.
And unless it's about wine.
Here you go.
Let's be honest.
So this is, I wonder if it's gonna focus. Yes, this is the 2016 Napa Valley Cab Sauv. Yeah, we went to Louis Martini in January. It was kind of dead when we went, but my best wine experiences or tasting experiences is when there's no one in the winery. Cause then the server gets to pay all attention to me.
Honestly.
And they all have like these, not for nothing, these practice spiels about their wine.
And we don't want that.
We want to talk to them, so they have a little bit more time than, rather than to do the script, to ask us like, where we from? Here she is. Ooh. So we're spinning it counterclockwise just to open it up a little bit more. We put it in the fridge. What's a good temperature for wine? I like my wines hella cold, bro. Like just obscenely icy, niggas wanna wife me kind of cold.
I think there are definitely benefits to having, you know, room temperature wine sometimes, depending on what red it is. But quite honestly, my dad started putting wine in the fridge when we were probably 18, red wine. I didn't underage drink, what are you talking about? And I've enjoyed it like that ever since. I don't think I can go back to having just, you know, room temperature cabs. It just doesn't speak to me anymore. And you know, you pop it in the fridge and then you kind of let it breathe for 10-15 minutes. We're not gonna do that today, but you let it breathe for 10-15 minutes and it comes out perfect every single time. All
right, so we are going to, I don't know if you guys saw on our highlights for our Instagram, giving you guys some tips on how to taste. So first you wanna look at your glass, and I'm just tilting it like a 45-degree angle because that gives you a really good view of the color. So reds, they lose color the older they get. So when you see like a really like mad burgundy, mad dark wine, it's probably a younger wine. White wine does the opposite. It gets really like gold, almost greenish as it gets older. So this one, I mean, it's a 2016, it's 4 years old, but it still has a lot of that really nice color. It has good legs. Can you see that? Can't see the legs, but she has legs, okay? She has Megan Thee Stallion legs. So it's probably high alcohol content.
Right.
So let's give that a whiff. So you see, first step is to look at your wine, and the second is to give it a good sniff. And like any science teacher would tell you, don't put your nose in it. Don't burn your nostrils off giving this a whiff. Got alcohol in it, baby. So you just, what do you pick it up?
Heavy.
heavy on it.
So almost immediately I can smell the alcohol content. I can tell it's high alcohol before I can tell anything else.
Yep.
The alcohol is hitting me before any of the fruit, before any of the jamminess or the woodiness. So, I mean, what time is it? 1:30? This is gonna be quite a night.
It's my first meal of the day.
This is my first meal of the day.
Not even
I've
joking.
been nibbling on almonds the whole morning.
Chewing on capitalism all morning.
Honestly.
So giving her a sniff, and one of my goals is to step up my palate and my food identifying game. So I could be bullshitting right now, but it smells like very like dark berries, but also
hella dark berries.
Hella dark berries.
Blackberries, and it doesn't, the thing about when you pick a fruit, so let's pick a fruit and let's go with blackberry. Then you have to determine what state is that blackberry in. Has it just been picked? Has it been sitting out on the counter for a little bit? Is it jammy? So has it been on the stove heating up? I smell jammy. And to me what that means is that It was out in the really hot Napa Valley sun. It was picked pretty late, which is why the grape was able to get that sort of jammy-ish flavor, as opposed to if the grape was picked earlier in the season, it would have more of a fresh fruit.
That sugar does a lot when it is in process. So less sugar is going to give you a different profile. More sugar is going to give you that jammier, that the darker the berry, the sweeter the juice, as they say. I'm also picking up, oops, sorry, one more. Like vanilla-y, cocoa-y.
Vanilla-y, and I'm getting a little bit woody, like cedar wood or like.
And y'all, this comes with practice. If y'all had handed me, I've been living in Napa now 2.5 years, fresh off the plane, you handed me a wine glass, I'd be like, smells red.
This is a red
This is a red indeed. So it just comes with practice. And sometimes people smell shit, they ain't got nothing to do with food. They're like,
I hear petrol. I'm like,
smells like tailgates.
Right.
You know, and it's like
that
what?
indescribable quality. But I think what's really important about wine tasting too is try as much as you can, whenever you can. What also really helps is picking up random fruit at the not during these times of COVID. Let me be clear.
Brand did not tell you to sniff that tangerine and put it back down.
Don't call on me. But picking up fruits and smelling them and really like closing your eyes and storing that in your bank. I promise you, you will be able to call upon it later. But if you see a fruit or vegetable that you've never seen before, smell it, because guaranteed that you will pick up something somewhere and you'll be like, oh my god, that was elderberry or that was blackberry. Like it just comes to you. I know, right?
All right. And it retails for 84 bucks. So this is an expensive wine. And if you go on their website, they actually classify it as a magnum under their portfolio. Cheers.
I'm definitely getting blackberry. But with this wine, what also helps is sort of inhaling through your mouth, and then exhaling through your nose. You'll be able to pick up so much more using your olfactory senses, your nose senses, to be able to determine what flavor it is. So if you're having a little bit of trouble, definitely use your nose to help you out.
So sometimes you'll see like people, when I first moved out here, people would literally take a sip of wine and then just go, like, what the fuck are they doing? They're like a fish. They're trying to bring air into the wine that's in their mouth to really open it up. So if you do that with this one, it completely dried out my mouth. So
high tannins.
High tannin, very dry, very, very big, bold red. For as I'm tasting it, it was a joke, but dead ass is mad peppery. I don't think that was their intent. So the vanilla, the Dique vanilla, the notes that I looked on online, actually before I say that,
yeah.
Did you taste anything else in it?
It was just honestly a lot of vanilla, sort of woody, not too much. So I don't taste that it's been barreled. I feel as though it has, but it doesn't taste like that to me. But yeah, heavy, jammy, dark fruits. And
which is interesting because their website doesn't describe it like that at all.
Really?
Yeah, their website describes it as having black currant, whatever that is.
I only get it in jam flavor, in the jam form. But.
So a black currant, but cocoa, vanilla, and it was oaked.
It was oaked?
Yeah, they did not list a lot of berries on their tasting notes. So a lot of times if you guys don't want to bother with this and just want to look it up, you can just Google the name and the year, because the year does impact. Like I said, this is a very agricultural business, so sometimes if the fruit wants to be picked, it's not up to the winemaker, it's up to the elements. So the year is important as well. So yeah, it's very interesting because it is mad berry, like it's mad jammy, but that's not what the winemaker.
That is very interesting.
Yeah. So if you could rate this
out of 10?
Yeah.
Honestly, and you know, I feel like I've said this so many times, is I'm slowly being converted into a cab girl because Genesis loves cab so much. It's funny because I was a Pinot girl at the beginning of our friendship, right?
Yeah.
And then after many years of me ordering Pinot at dinner,
I hate Pinot.
She told me that she doesn't like Pinot. She had never, I want to be clear, she had never been like, I don't like Pinot.
But how loyal am I?
How loyal are you?
Every time you order it, I drink it.
She drank it. So now I vowed to never have another Pinot in this house again. And But I would honestly give this like a 9. This shit
I would give this a 9. I do feel like for how old it is and where it's priced, that's that 1 point. It would make me feel better if it looked a little different. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, I get what you mean.
It looks like a very young wine, but it tastes amazing. It is a high quality cab. And maybe it's just visually for me, but definitely an amazing wine.
And I know that we're on our first glass, so ask me on our third, but I feel like I could drink this even without food. Like, we have little snacks here. I made us some kale chips and some almonds. We have snacks here, but I honestly think I could eat this without food. A lot of the times people will suggest that you have cabs with food, which is mostly the reason why people don't like cabs, because when they drink them, it's too heavy, then they don't end up finishing them. Yeah, or
because they're not used to that dry mouth feel when they're eating, it makes them uncomfortable. But one of the things I'm about to put y'all on, do you know what winemakers use when they're trying to see like how well it pairs? They get a bag of Lay's chips.
Shut up.
They literally do that at my job. They get a bag.
Waffles. Should we crack?
We should crack open. I'm not joking. You know why? Because it's really salty. It's starchy. So once that salt hits your mouth, when you have a big bold red, it's just gonna complement it. Think about it, like you're having a salty steak. You're having, you know, mashed potatoes. That's salty. That starchiness. So don't be pressed. Don't feel like you have to go fry up a filet mignon in order to have some cab bust out them Frito-Lays.
Honestly. And the reason for that is because tannins will dry out, right? So when you take a sip, you feel the whole drying out along your along the inside of your cheeks and your gums.
Your gums, yeah.
The salt makes you salivate. So then you sort of have this balance that occurs between the two of them. I never thought of, I mean,
Listen,
and that's why they
I said I was gonna put you on.
That's why they make the big bucks.
We had a really great experience, and the wine is bussin'.
And they had a fucking amazing tasting menu.
Yes, and they had these amazing pairings. Not a lot of wineries, majority of wineries don't do pairings because then it becomes this whole food thing, and a lot of them don't want to have a kitchen staff, which is totally understandable. So they'll have like little nibbles, like these little crusty ass breadsticks. They're so thin, and every winery has.
Why are they so crispy, and why are they so thin? Literally. This is not doing anything to fill me up. This is empty calories, literally.
All in all, 9 out of 10.
Yeah.
Really good wine, an amazing winery. So let us know if you guys end up purchasing this, end up purchasing another one. Another wine that we recommend from this brand is their Cab Rosé. Cab Rosé, as the bougie version of me was trying to say. Yes, it is such a beautiful color. So we have a post of this. Let's see if it's gonna focus. She sure won't. There she goes. Yes, it is a beautiful bottle. It's a beautiful color. Looks even better in a wine glass. It's a really drinkable rosé. It's probably I did not think it was going to be that drinkable because of it's blended with this cab, but she's nice.
It's amazing. Really, really good pairing for food as well. As far as pairing this with food, our red.
I would do a traditional like steak and mashed potatoes.
I would do the tradish. It's always good. Pasta with meat sauce would be fucking banging.
Yes. And we did the rosé with a white sauce. We did ravioli and white sauce, and it was so amazing.
I forgot about that.
Yeah.
I only wine.
Yeah, so for this I would do something salty, something savory, something heavy hitting.
And if you need suggestions, please don't be afraid to hit our DM, say what ingredients you got, and let us work our magic by telling you what you should cook.
Awesome, cheers.
Cheers.